Welcome to Lykken on Lending, the podcast that dives deep into the heart of the mortgage industry. Your host, David Lykken, bringing you the latest insights, trends, and updates from the world of mortgages. Whether you're a seasoned industry veteran or just getting started, this show is your go-to source for all things mortgage. Let's get started. This is Lykken on Lending. Now your host, David Lykken.
Listeners, you hear me talk about Angel AI and Pavan and what he's doing there. And there's now another development that is, again, so exciting. I don't understand how he can do all that he's doing, but he's accomplishing things that is just seems superhuman. So, Pavan, good to have you back on the podcast.
I wouldn't say superhuman. I would call it super machine intelligence.
Machine, yeah, that's a good way to put it. What's so powerful about using the tools you have? It makes us seem like we're superhuman. It gives you this superhuman ability to perform. But you have been doing this for a long time. And what is so powerful about this is all experience. So I'm here with Pavan today, listeners, and we talk about originations. Angel AI is mostly focused on the let's get a loan created and how the parts of the journey, it automates the entire process on that. And then if you run into credit problems, you've heard us talk about that, listeners. And we'll put links to all those previous interviews in this interview. So when you go to our website, you can see all. You haven't heard those, you're going to be able to go back and listen. We talk about Angel Twin. We talked about that. Today, we're going to talk about the most boring part of the industry, servicing, the collecting and distribution of payments, of the borrower's payments. And it is one of those things that has typically been such a thin margin. And Pavan, you're here to talk about what you've done in servicing. Kick it off for us. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's super exciting. It's been, actually, we rolled out our first servicing system back in 2004. That was a reverse servicing system. And so we built it from scratch for reverse mortgages. And then in 2006, 2007, we worked with Ginnie Mae and we defined the Ginnie Mae reverse servicing standard. Okay, and I think we were the first reverse servicing system Ginnie Mae approved. And on that, then we had hundreds of thousands of loans on our platform. We were the servicer or the master servicer for Bank of America, Wells Fargo, Generations, Financial Freedom. So just across the board because the system was so fast and efficient. So about 2 years ago, I think maybe 3 years ago, we started a project. We said, you know what, let's just finish off what we started 20 years ago and let's roll in forward. Let's expand it for forward mortgage servicing. Okay, and
when you say forward, you're talking about Fannie, Freddie, and the conventional GSE type products.
Yeah, basically Fannie, Freddie, Ginnie, all the non-QM, HELOCs, just every kind of product you can imagine, we can service now. So at this point, and then as we built it, we also integrated it with Angel AI. So now it's a full AI servicing system. So we took the backbone that we had already built from our reverse days and expanded it and integrated with Angel AI. So now it's a full end-to-end AI system for loan servicing. And so we're probably the only servicer out there now that's got the complete end-to-end servicing system. And it is fully AI and it's free of Black Knight. Okay, so that means we're not paying these obnoxious fees. It runs on standard cloud services. Okay, so massively scalable. And it does every product you can imagine. Okay, and the best part about it is by writing our own servicing system, we can deliver our culture, right? Our culture of protecting borrowers, our culture of making sure that they're helped and supported in the toughest times. Servicers are not there for the good times. And most servicers think that way. Most servicers think that, oh yeah, as long as the payment's coming in, I'm making my fee and I'm happy. No, that's not what you're paid for. You're paid for the bad times. When customers run into trouble, when they lose their job or have a medical problem and so forth, that's what you're paid for. So all of those
work for them, yes.
Yeah, all the good times where you get a fee for basically doing nothing other than depositing a check, that's an advanced payment. So you're there to help them in the hard times. Like yesterday, I got off a call with a wonderful lady, a single mom who bought her first home with us 5 years ago, 6 years ago, and her business ran into trouble. She's an interior designer. There was a downturn recently. She ran into trouble, and our reps worked with her and helped resolve it. And now she's current again. Now she's making money again, and her house is safe, and she doesn't have to move her kids again. That's
Wow.
that's what it's about. But it takes a lot of communication. She said that when she got a call from our reps, she wanted to answer that phone. She saw SunWest on the caller ID. She didn't feel ashamed to answer the phone. She didn't feel scared like they're going to beat me up for my payment. She said, "Okay, this is a helping voice that's here. It's going to
A
support me."
harassing voice. Pavan,
Yeah.
can I just stop there for a minute? Because I want to honor your dad. This culture that you talked about is something your dad brought from India when he started SunWest Mortgage. And he wanted to make sure that you did things in a way that was benefiting the consumer. And like you said, consumers, it's great when everything just works, but how many times in life does life show up?
Yeah.
When you and I were recently together in Las Vegas and we were celebrating another one of your launches, which we've talked about in the past, but you brought in an individual, a doctor, a psychologist, if I recall correctly,
Yeah.
who had run into a problem and had ran into a servicing problem, and he was terrified to talk to you because his experience and previous experience has been just like anyone else. But when he talked, because of the culture and the training you put into your servicing agents, they said, "No, don't worry. We're here to help you." And he almost couldn't believe what he was hearing. And it restored his faith in your financial system, the way you go about it. Though that's a story, listeners, I can't wait to share with you as soon as it's edited. And it's one of those ones, it'll bring you to tears. And it should be the gold standard. This should set now the gold standard. And I know Hari is his dad's name, Hari Agarwal. And I just love the man. He was a great mentor to me. And I applaud him. And I want to put that word in here because it's really your dad's vision that you've picked up on and now you're championing. And it's every much part of your DNA as it was your dad's. And I just think it's so important we celebrate that because we go, what's the origin of this? Who started this? Are you really serious? Aren't you here to make money? Yes, but it's how we go about it.
Making money should have a purpose.
Yes.
If you make money just for the sake of money, you might make it. You might make a lot of it, but you won't be able to keep it.
That's a really great point. It's not able to keep it. Yes.
Yeah, it's gonna go away. Right.
Yeah.
But if you make money to complete a loop, right, and that's what capitalism is really about, is to complete the cycle. Right. And that means you make money and then you reinvest it back in your community, and that completes the cycle. Right. And if you make money and you don't reinvest it, and you try to stockpile it away, it's just you'll see it's like trying to hold on to a fistful of water. Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. How does that work? Yeah.
The tighter you grip your fist, the more the water escapes. It's the same thing.
Exactly
Same thing with money.
Yeah. So let's get back to the servicing system. Another great feature, and it's been it's an arduous process, highly regulated, very much fraught with problem with human error can get involved in this, how someone's talking to a consumer, and especially when they're in a potential default situation, how you talk to someone and how you treat them can bring about 80% of all CFPB's complaints are in the area of servicing. 80%. Yeah. Talk about how you have addressed that. How is it that you've solved that?
It's all about culture and it's all about approach. Right. And if you treat your servicing fee as an investment, as a down payment for
the relationship,
ultimately, I don't know of any person in my life, rich or poor or whatever, across the spectrum, who's not had a major challenge in their life, in some form or the other. So it's just the way it is. Right. So everybody's going to have a challenge one day. And when you have that challenge, is your partner going to be there to support you? Or is your partner going to be pounding his fist on the table saying, "Where's my money?"
Yeah,
right?
I want to capitalize on this because what you're really talking about is partnership. There's many partnerships in our lives. We have our life partner, your spouse. You have your financial partners. In this case, the most important investment most everyone has is their home. And so it really matters to whom you get the loan from. And you have aggressive rates, great programs there at SunWest. And by the way, this is not a SunWest product. This is a product that the loan servicing can be used by anyone, whether they have their loan serviced at SunWest or not. But what you do have is all these products and services, and it's a partner. It's so important, listener, that you emphasize your unique difference about your company is how you partner. So listen to this whole discussion about partnership, because it is such a key to Pavan's success and where he's gotten to where he's at today. Continue on about the partnership. I just want to underscore that and emphasize that, Pavan.
Yeah, sure. My favorite saying is that a bank in need is a bank indeed.
Yes.
And everyone will have a time when they need support from the bank,
Yes.
right? And it's always easy. The famous saying is, hey, banks are always willing to lend you money when you don't need it.
Yep.
So that's not a real bank. And yes, you have to qualify to get a mortgage, and we lend you money. And now we're with you for the next 30 years. Okay. And we know, I said, like, it's just a mindset. Like, when we know that we're servicing that loan for life, we know there's going to be a time when you're going to need help. It's inevitable.
Yes.
Something or the other. It's just life. Like I said, I don't know of anyone who's had a flawless, perfect life. No such thing. Right.
No such thing. Exactly.
Curveballs come at you. Right.
Yes.
So as a corporation, when that's part of your DNA and you understand that's how life is, and that's why people pay you the fees, right? And most people don't even understand that they're paying a fee to the servicer, right? Because it's kind of embedded in the coupon. And that's the other challenge in this business is I think that should be made crystal clear up front, right? That why don't consumers know what they're paying, that they're paying this? I think if there's any regulation that should come out, that should be that, hey, your servicer got paid X, Y, Z, X amount this month. Right.
Yeah.
For
full disclosure, so it has a chance to. That's
right.
a great idea, actually.
Yeah, but consumers don't know that.
Well, that will be met with resistance. So, how many in the industry want that disclosed, that level of transparency?
Right.
But
Right.
That's what a real partner does. This is what I'm getting, and this is why we're here. And that. But if you frame it up in the concept of, on the culture, the concept of a culture where you are here to help them, no one has problem when you making money when you have my interests at heart.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So we can go down the rabbit hole of what those disclosures could look like, but I think we should be part of the monthly statement. Right.
Yeah.
This is what we got. This is what we paid. This is what we paid up front. This is how it's amortizing down, and this is what essentially you're worth to us, in essence. Yeah. And I think if that's up front, then people say, "Hey, I'm paying money for this service. I demand service."
Yeah, exactly right.
That's probably the simplest. You can probably get rid of all the other regulations and on servicing, and just simply put transparency, and then you'll automatically get the behavior that the government wants from its private partners.
Yeah, treat people how you want to be treated. It's like the golden rule. It is just so important, and all things roll into just one thing: how to treat people, respect them, care about them. Is really a powerful tool. Let's get to the cost, because one of the big advantages you have is not only do you do it in excellence, you have a culture where you're helping consumers and they value that and how you go about that. And there's some great stories. We could go on and on about those stories that'll literally bring out Kleenex boxes, because I love these stories of what you've done to help people. They have tears in their eyes because of, as they tell the story, because of that. So that's what your dad instilled in you. You've instilled it in the entire company. Every customer service representative in your company is been trained with this culture. But then it comes down to, we still got to run a business, Pavan. So you have done this, and the most important thing is it allows you to slash the cost of servicing. Are you bold enough to do the mic drop moment where you say what it costs to service?
Yeah, we're relatively a small servicing portfolio. I think we have 70, 80,000 loans, something like that. And I wish we had, I'd sold 2 blocks a long time ago for misguided reasons. And if there was ever a trade that I could unwind, if I could unwind, I would unwind those 2 trades. And if I hadn't sold those, we'd be 300,000 loans.
Wow.
We'd be servicing. But that's okay. It's past. But the lesson there is the 2 things in life you should never sell is, one is servicing, and second is real estate.
Yes.
which one is the derivative of the other.
Yes.
Because now we control the tech, and the tech is so highly automated. For a small servicer like us, we're able to get the cost per loan down to $4 a loan per month. And I think when it's
That's like clearing
yeah,
it. You
yeah,
have to scratch your ears and clear that
yeah,
out and have you say that again because
yeah,
that's unbelievable.
$4 a loan per month. And I think when it's all said and done, and as we get our customers integrated into the AI and the app, we get a lot of demand from our customers who want to use the app, who are insisting on the app and insisting on getting everything done through Angel AI. And as we roll that out and make that ubiquitous in our portfolio, I think we're going to get down in the 3 or sub 3 because we're steadily seeing the inbound, the influx. The biggest cost of servicing is, other than loss mitigation and home retention, biggest cost is customer service. So if people can self-fulfill customer service by chatting with the AI, okay, and get immediate answers to everything that they need, then your cost plummet.
Dramatically drop.
So we're at $4 today, and so I'll tell you a little history about the system. The system was actually finished a year ago. It's been over a year since it was the coding and completed. So for the past 12 months, we've been running it parallel with our old system and running parallel month ends and double checking everything. And also it's taken, and then we submitted 8 months ago, we submitted to the agency's approval to change systems. So it's taken that long to go through the agency review process. They have to do their testing and verification.
That's an arduous process, yes.
Yeah, so it's taken a year to get to the point where we can actually switch over. We switched over all the private investors and Freddie Mac this month. In May, we're switching over Fannie, and June, we're switching over Jenny. So by June 1st, the whole portfolio was switched over to the AI.
Entire portfolio.
Yeah, to the AI system. And then and we're already seeing the effects of the lower cost on the portfolios that we have switched. And I believe once it's all switched over and we're able to train, educate our customers on using the AI, and I believe we'll be down in the 3, maybe sub 3 by the end of the year.
Wow. It's extraordinary.
Because
there's no one else even close to that.
Right. Yeah.
Multiples higher. Multiples higher.
Yeah,
So
because
yeah,
if you think about the technology cost, Black Knight and Pfizer, the cost, I think that their cost alone, I'm not an expert on this, you probably know more than I do, but I think their cost alone is like $3 a month, something like that.
Yeah.
And in our case, our technology cost is that it's on the Amazon cloud along with the rest of our servers, and it's so inexpensive to have big systems on the cloud, and it costs us pennies per loan. And then our engineering team is, even if I factor the cost of the engineering team in, it would be probably add another 50 cents a loan, something like that, if even that much. But you can't, because that's a capital investment. It's not a cost, because the engineering team creates intellectual property that you own forever, and that you can leverage and make more money with. So owning your own intellectual property is a huge asset.
I want to get this to the lenders that are out there, to those that are mortgage bankers that have a servicing portfolio. They say, "Oh, that's all good for them. Why you bring this to our attention, Lykken? It's just to torture us that SunWest has a huge advantage." But this goes to another principle that you operate by, Pavan. You're not just doing this for yourself and for your own company.
Yeah.
Angel AI, the origination system, is made available to the industry for free. Now, you can't make this servicing system available for free. However, you can make it available to other mortgage lenders. And how do people reach out to you to start saying, I'm not believing what you're saying, but it's compelling enough for me to at least have a conversation with you, Pavan? Is this, number one, can this be used by lenders who are servicing their own portfolio on behalf of Fannie, Freddie, and Jenny and the others and the other investors? Can they do that with you?
Yeah, so we do offer sub-servicing.
So that's a sub-servicing.
Right. Yeah, we do offer sub-servicing, and we have a couple of small banks, a couple $100 million that we're sub-servicing for other banks right now. And after the system rollout is complete, then we are looking to both, number one, acquire servicing, buy servicing, and number two, to offer subservicing.
Yeah, good. Good. So this is going to be available to the industry
Yeah.
for them to use it, just like they were working with one of the many other subservicers that are out
Right.
there. Now they can work with your company and subservice it.
Yeah.
Outstanding. Amazing. $4 per loan
Yeah.
servicing cost.
Yeah.
That is extraordinary.
Yeah. And the thing is that the way the tech works, it creates a high degree of comfort with the customer and attachment and engagement. So I'll give you, because especially now with this new tech that we rolled out called Angel Twin. So I'll give you an example. Literally just happened the day before yesterday for one of our loan originators. His customer was a home buyer. She's 70 years old grandmother, and
I
he
love this
sent
story.
he sent her his link, his Angel Twin link, and she talked to his twin, photorealistic twin, and his voice and everything, and she completed the loan application process in a few minutes. She herself on her phone took pictures of her documents, uploaded it, and mind you, I mean, she barely knows how to turn on her PC. Okay, and so she did all of that, and then she had her loan approval pretty much on the spot. Right, and so she was so thrilled by being able to talk to Salvador's twin, AI twin, right? Because she knows and trusts Salvador, and then she's talking to Salvador's twin, and it just made her so happy and engaged in the process that it didn't feel like, for her, it didn't feel like she was doing any work. It didn't feel like a complex loan application process. So the conversation that Angel has, or the conversation that Salvador's AI twin had with her was a brief conversation, brief interview, about 20, 25 questions, and then asked her for some of her documents. And that was it. And she was done. She got a loan approval. It was that simple. And then she was so excited because
78-year-old grandma.
Yeah.
I'm 74, so she's got me by a few years. But
I
just accept the fact that so many do not have this. But you've made it that easy to use.
That's right. Actually, I meant correction. 70, not 78.
Oh, she's not 70. She's 70. Okay, she's younger. Right?
Yeah. It's a little younger than you. The point is that she's heard of AI. She's scared of AI. Doesn't even know how to turn on her PC. Right. And she jumped on the app and got going. Salvador gave her a little initial encouragement. It's okay. It's going to be all right. Try it out. When she got there, the amazing part was she got there, she saw Salvador's twin, right, talking to her, and that warmed her up right away. And it became, she connected, right? It felt human, and it felt easy. So that's the key, right, is if technology is ready for mainstream, right? There's two tests for technology to be ready for mainstream. Number one, can grandma use it?
That's good. Yeah,
and we passed that test. And second, are kids enchanted by it? Right?
Yeah.
And we passed that test because my Anthony, he's my partner, and like his kids are the most popular in their school, in the junior high school, because they're the only ones that can get Angel AI swag. Everybody's chasing them for Angel AI swag. So if the kids are engaged with it and grandma can use it, you cover the full spectrum. And so what does that mean for loan servicing? So your borrowers, your loan servicing customers will be doing all of their interface with you by talking to the twin of your agent. So they will develop a relationship with your agent's AI twin. So stop and think about that.
By the way, I want to clarify for our listeners, when we're talking about Angel AI Twin, we're talking about an avatar.
Right.
But if you haven't seen what's going on, you need to go to Angel AI and log in and start. You ask angel.ai, and you can get your own twin, listeners. You can get your own twin. You can start using this yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so it's amazing how fast it can happen. So you have your image that's speaking like you hear me doing, and I've been doing this now. I've been playing around with this, and it's absolutely stunning how amazingly accurate it is.
Right.
And the fact that you're talking to a AI avatar twin of me it almost drops away because the conversation is so natural.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so the current production release of the Angel Twin is a limited release, and it doesn't. It like right now, your twin can answer some questions, but doesn't answer all questions. It doesn't get into the. It doesn't yet answer the personal questions about David Lincoln, and obviously careful about answering personal questions that only answer based on the data that you load, that you give it. So the next 30 days, we'll have the full twin where when you're talking to David Lincoln's twin, it's David Lincoln. You won't be able to tell the difference. The most famous twin that we've done so far is for mindset coach and guru Deepak Chopra. Right. So
Yes.
if you go to digitaldeepak.ai, that's one of our twins.
That's amazing.
Yeah. And the beauty of angel twins, and as opposed to other platforms out there, and Mark Zuckerberg yesterday actually made a big statement. He said that in 2025, Facebook will have, or Meta will have the technology for personalized AI for everyone. Okay.
Wow.
But the difference there, yes, but the difference there between what Meta and Google and ChatGPT are doing and what we're doing is that, yes, you'll also get a personal AI. And number one, the difference is you got it today and you can start using it today and your customers can start engaging with you 24/7. That's number one. It's already here today. Now you have to wait another year or 2 years. But number two is that personal data that you load into Angel Twin so that it knows you and knows your personality and talks like you. That data gets stored not in our database, but in your vault. So part of what comes with Angel Twin is the Angel Wallet. Okay, and it's decentralized blockchain wallet. That's where your data is stored, and it's yours. So data is the new gold, folks. People don't really get it, but it is more valuable than gold, oil, and all the other rare earths out there. And there's a mad rush for tech companies to get that from you. Our approach is, again, also about empowering communities and giving back and ensuring longevity. Our approach is that, hey, we're not taking your gold. We want you to hold on to your gold. We're just going to provide you an easy on-ramp, easy technology so you can keep your gold secure. And you know it's secure because it's on blockchain. Right? Blockchain already secures trillions of dollars of assets for both individuals and governments across the world. I think you're going to be safe.
That is so exciting what this can do, Pavan. And we're going to get into that more. We've covered the servicing today. We've gotten back onto the Angel Twin. We've got to really continue to educate our audience on this because it's so powerful. Pavan, thanks so much for coming in today. Appreciate it.
Thank you, David.
It's an honor to have you, an honor to be in relationship with you. I am so excited about what this is doing for our industry, but more importantly for the consumers we serve.
If I could add one last thing.
Yes.
If anybody wants to try out and just see what a twin is, you can talk to my own twin. I've got my twin out there. And you just, all you do is go to askangel.ai/Pavan, Pavan, right? So that's my custom link. And then you'll be talking to my twin. Right. And recently, I think last week, time's up where I can't even keep track of the data anymore. Last week, I was in El Salvador and I met with a bank that's very interested in this technology because they're a commercial bank and they're about to go big into mortgages across El Salvador. And obviously, El Salvador is a leader in blockchain and technology and banking. And in many ways, they're way ahead of the US and the rest of the world. So the bank there are like, hey, we want in on this AI tech. So I met with the board and I brought up my custom link live on their computer, on their screen, and we took a loan application. We spoke to my twin and took a loan application in 10 minutes. And they were like, okay, where do we sign? Let's get this going. And if you have a few more minutes, and that reflects on what you said earlier, is how are we moving so fast? How are we rolling out new products, new capabilities so quickly, and also expanding to new countries and new markets? Because it's AI, right? What that means is once the model is solved, right? We've built the model and it's been built and tested and completed for years, right? So new technology that we're adding onto this is we have AI creating AI at this point. So it's really fast to build new features and new tech onto this platform, right? And so rolling out a new jurisdiction, right? It's just loading up with new rules now. It's just dropping in new data.
The rollout gets to be so much easier when you're just loading in new rules rather than having to recreate things. You laid the foundation. You got the foundation built.
Yeah, exactly. So when you have this solid tech foundation, then things like changing, like having your own servicing system from ground up. From the time we made the decision to build it to the time it was complete and we started full running it parallel, it was like 12, 14 months.
Wow.
And it was a team of, I don't know, 6 people for 14 months completed it.
6 people to build up a
right.
servicing system from the ground up.
Yeah, like everything, interface with credit reports, all the agencies, and everything has an interface, everything you can imagine, all that, like, because it's all such well organized and structured and planned out data science. So then when you create interfaces, you just let the AI just generate the interchanges.
Amazing.
It's
amazing.
Yeah. So
what you've built is nothing less than amazing. It's revolutionizing our industry and has the potential of just changing the world.
Yeah. And you change the world by, if you really look at human history past 2,000 years, the big changes in the world has always been tied to tech. Right? I guess all the good things, though. The bad things are tied to the bad things are tied to wars. The good things are tied to tech.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's upgrading. Yeah, that's a great point. Pavan, thanks so much for taking time to be with us today. I love the vision. I love what you're doing. Keep going. So excited to be walking this journey with you, friend.
Thank you, David.
You bet.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Listeners, I hope you enjoyed that interview with Pavan. Check out what's going on. The world is changing fast around us. If you're not caught up on it and you're not staying tuned with it, you're going to find yourself like a turtle in the back on a road, laying on its top, spinning in the road, and you're going to get run over. Don't let that happen, listeners. That's why we do this podcast, is to bring you timely information in an audio format you can listen to anytime, anywhere. We say that all the time. But this is why, is to bring you this kind of information. It's happening, folks. Get into it. I want to say a special thank you to our sponsors, Byte Software, Finastra, Angel AI, True, Candid, Mortgage Bankers Association of America, Lenders One, the Mortgage Collaborative, Modex, and Redder, as well as Knowledge Coop, the Mortgage Advisory Tools, and Fuel Inc. Appreciate you all. Thank you, and share this podcast with others. It's so important we do so. Have a great week, everybody.
You've been listening to Lykken on Lending. Our passion is to bring you the latest insights, trends, and updates from the world of mortgages. So on this show, if you're a seasoned industry veteran or just getting started, it's your go-to source for all things mortgage. We hope you've enjoyed the show. We'll be back soon. Take care, and we'll see you next time on Lykken on Lending.